So in do alert, I'm just going to put in alert, and then just to make sure it's working, before we start working with variables, let's just test that, make sure it's all good. I'm going to add in a button just at the bottom here, and then on click equals, and then what did I call that? Do alert. Okay. Then with empty brackets for now. So refresh. Probably best that I add something into the button so it's not tiny, but it is working. So I'll just put click me. Okay, that looks a bit better now. Great. Okay, so now let's start putting in some variables. So we've defined all these variables up here, so now we can start entering them in. But because we want to change what's actually going to be going in there, but we don't know exactly what we want to go in there in the function. So we're going to just put in something called, let's put input var. I'm just going to call it that. You can call it anything you want, as long as you refer to it as the same within the function. So I'm basically saying when the function is called, I want you to use a value that's being put in when it's called, and I want you to do this with that value. I want you to alert. So now we have all these vars, all these variables stored. Let's start using some of them. So awesome num. Let's start with this one. So when we're calling the function, I'm going to put it right in here. So basically when I call the function, the awesome num is going to be put in here, and so it's going to be used in the alert. So what we should see is 50 should have popped up in our alert. So when I click here, excellent. Now let's go for my string. See if that works. Hi there, fantastic. Let's go for one more. Let's go for I like objects, just to show that this is working. Click at the bottom. Aha, undefined. Interesting. So we'll have to look at that another time. I think that's simply because I need to change the uppercase, because when it's a boolean it needs to be lowercase, so that should work. Now it's not going to output actually what all of this, it's basically just going to output that's an object, and we'll be looking at that in a future lecture. But for now let's look at one more. Go for this as array. Then I refresh this. Fantastic, and it outputs everything in the array. So I just want to show you one more thing which is quite interesting, and that's how you can deal with strings and numbers. So we can do things like adding them together, but we can only add strings together and numbers together. I'll be showing you that in a lecture very, very soon. So have a go at this yourself. Basically try and create your own numbers, your own strings. If you're feeling brave, then go on to creating some arrays, booleans, and finally objects. The three main ones to keep in mind for now are the numbers, the strings, and the arrays. You can create them all the same way just by saying they're a variable, giving them a name. Then if it's a number, you just put in the number. If it's a string, you use quotation marks, singular or double, as long as you keep it the same throughout. And then if you want to create an array, you use the square brackets. So have a go at that yourself and try using the alert to make sure it's all working properly. Once you've done that, I'll see you in the next lecture.